What up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So last night I went out to go see this early fan screening called Godzilla Minus One. I knew this movie was on a horizon. I knew this movie was going to be another Japanese Godzilla variation that they've done many times before. And I knew it was on the horizon, but I was never that excited for it until I saw the trailer and it looked very exciting. And I went in with a very open mind. I mean, I've grown up watching some of the original Godzilla movies in black and white with my uncle, and I don't remember too much of it. I remember watching the original film, and I remember watching the Mecha Godzilla version in Kong versus Godzilla. But then I remember that they did it in the late 90s where they made it the Roland Emmerich version of Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. I liked it when I was little, but I didn't love it. But then watching it as an adult, it did not hold up. And then I remember that back in 2014 when Hollywood started to reboot the Godzilla franchise with Gareth Edwards, and I wasn't too crazy about it. I thought it was a boring movie. I mean, the best part of the movie is when we saw Godzilla doing monster fights, but then that's about it. I mean, you only cared about the characters for the first 20 minutes with Bryan Cranston, and then it just completely went away with the characterization, and you never cared for them. You always rooted for Godzilla, and they kind of made him out to be the hero of the story, where he's trying to restore the balance. I mean, it was interesting, but I didn't really care about it. And then Han Skull Island didn't give a fuck about the humans. The monster mayhem and the action was great. Then King of the Monsters came out in 2019, and it was still entertaining and better than the 2014. But then again, they keep continuing to not make me care about the humans, especially the latest installment with Kong versus Godzilla, which as much as it was fun, you still don't fucking care about these people. And like I said, Godzilla Minus One, it was not on my anticipation list, but I still went in with an open mind, and I went into expecting to enjoy it and be entertained, but I was not expecting it to love it. It was incredible. I cared about every single one of these human characters. It's following the story in the post World War II, and you're following the main character who is playing the pilot who was part of the kamikaze of the special aviation during World War II, and he's suffering through survivor's guilt. He meets a woman that has a baby that's not even hers, and he takes her in, and they become a family for several years, and they've been trying to survive during the post World War II time period. Then he meets up with a group of people who are going on a boat to take down a magnetic mine, and they use a wooden boat because it will not attract those magnetic mines. Then we see Godzilla coming out of the water and causing destruction, and it's essentially like pretty much the same story, because throughout the years of these Japanese Godzilla movies, most of them have just been different variations. So you can go into this movie without knowing any of the previous Godzilla films and enjoy it for what it was. It definitely tackles the survivor's guilt, and it's a very emotional, and it deals with more self-forgiveness and how, because you're following in this pilot who is suffering through survivor's guilt. He feels responsible for the deaths of his men, and he has this PTSD nightmare and looking back on what he could have done differently, and the war is still with him. Even when the war is over, it still follows him, and it destroys him. I really cared about that guy a lot, and I care about the woman, and I care about the child. I care about the people that are about to get murdered by Godzilla, and they never held anything back. The body count, is intense. You see him stomping them, you see them eating them, wrecking shop, especially in the scene that you see in the trailer where he's about to take out his atomic breath. And it doesn't show you too much in the trailer, but when you see him causing destruction, the way he uses the atomic breath, it just blows your mind. He is terrifying. He is of monster. They don't make him out to be the hero of the story where he's trying to restore the balance like Hollywood is doing now these days. No, they simply stay true to Godzilla, that he has no motivation. He's all about destruction, destroying cities and murdering people. And the way that they've handled these human characters, they all had to come together, a group of the community who are more experienced soldiers and scientists who had to come together to take down Godzilla at his most vulnerable. And I loved it. And every one of them that you can actually identify and you can emotionally connect with them. They never felt one dimensional. They never felt character controls. Every one of them had a purpose in the story. and the performances aren't great. The action and the monster mayhem delivers, and they definitely shared a great amount of screen time with Godzilla as well. They did a great job with balancing with the human characters in Godzilla at the same time. You should definitely go out and see it in Dolby Cinema if you have a screening nearby because it's coming out this weekend. You do not want to miss out on this. And I normally don't watch a lot of foreign movies because I don't like reading the subtitles, but there are exceptions, and I did not mind it. Most of the time, most of foreign movies for international films have been getting a lot better these days with quality. And this movie was made on a $15 million budget, and the effects and the CGI were great, and they did a great job with the practical effects too. And mostly the movie is bold and the stakes are high. It's dark and it's emotional, and it can be very hopeful too. I feel like that Hollywood needs to take notes when it comes to monster movies and blockbuster movies in general, because lately they have been getting very lazy with blockbuster movies, especially with the monster film that revolves around Godzilla and King Kong. They deliver a great entertainment, but at the same time, you don't really give a fuck about the humans. You don't root for them. And I feel like they need to take notes of why these blockbuster movies are so good. And like I said, this is made on a $15 million budget. They never overextend themselves when it comes to big movies like this. And from what I've heard, that this movie was made from the fans who understands the source materials, and from what I've heard, that this is taking a lot of influences from the original Godzilla movie. Like I said, this is a movie you do not want to sleep on. You should rush out to see in the theater with an audience. At the end of the film, people applaud. Seeing in Dolby or IMAX, it's the way to view the movie, in my opinion. I'm definitely seeing this movie again. And this is coming from a guy who is not like the biggest Godzilla fan. I'm more of like a casual fan. This is the best Godzilla movie of all time. If you're a hardcore fan or a casual fan or not a fan, you will fucking love this movie and you will be emotionally satisfied by the end of the film. This will be a big payoff for you. I never thought that this movie would end up being in my top 5 favorite films of the year, and I want to own it, whether it's on digital or 4K Blu-ray. Hopefully, it will come out on physical media soon. Now, have you seen the Godzilla minus one? What did you think of it? Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? And if you haven't seen it, are you looking forward to it? Are you gonna go see it in the theater with an audience, or are you gonna see it at home? Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. And look, if you're someone who is just or going in there completely blind without any knowledge of the Godzilla franchise, like don't be alarmed. You don't need to worry about that because it is a standalone story. Because most of the Japanese movies have been different variations, and they literally just retell the same story again. But this is a definitive Godzilla movie, and and you got to experience it in the theater. And if you really like this review, leave it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. It's one click away and it's very easy. I would really appreciate your support and help me boost those numbers. The numbers are going up right now, and I'm loving it. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos. It means a lot to me. You guys are amazing. And if you want to follow my social media links, the link tree will be down in the description down below, and you'll find my social media platforms on there. I'm more active on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, whatever time zone you are in. And I hope you guys stay safe and take care.